Hi everyone. Welcome to the Superpowers Academy, and welcome to the full moon in Pisces live stream. Now, we do our new and full moon live streams several days before the moon rises, so that you can be prepared for the moon. So there is a workbook. Rebecca, will you please attach the workbook link to this video so that the ladies can download it immediately? It has already been emailed to you. If you didn't get the email, pop a note here and let us know, and we will send it to you, or double check why you're not getting the emails. It's probably somewhere in your spam folder, which we need to check as well. Okay, so what is going on with this ritual? By the way, this is a 30-minute session, so I am going to kind of really tuck in and get you what you need as quickly as possible. So what are we talking about today? Well, we have the full moon in Pisces. Currently, the sun, first of all, Rebecca, I need the full moon in Pisces dates. And if you could type that into the text box of the comments on Facebook, that would be great, okay, so that the ladies will have that. I do believe the full moon is next week, next Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So next week, the sun is going to be in Virgo, and that means that the moon is going to be opposite the sun in Pisces. So Pisces and Virgo are opposites. That means that there is a synergy between these two signs. These signs are very, very different. Virgo is an earth sign, Pisces is a water sign. Virgo is very grounded, very organized, very connected to the realm of rationality. Pisces is very otherworldly, very connected to the world of feelings, very connected to emotions, fantasy, and the sign for, or the symbol for Pisces are two fish swimming in different directions. So if you can imagine a squiggly little fish going up and a squiggly little fish going down, and imagining if that was your personality, or if that was your kind of the energy under which you're functioning. The sign of Pisces is ruled by the planet Neptune. And Neptune, as you know from Greek and Roman, Greek astrology is Neptune, Poseidon is Roman astrology. We know that these two gods are masculine, but they rule the waves, they rule the emotions. So what we get is, rather than having a kind of receptive emotionality, we can have an active, charged emotion, set of emotions, which makes them not so calm, but more active, more engaged, and more volatile. Now, this is not to say that Pisceans are volatile. They are not. They're actually pretty darn calm. However, I think Pisceans are pretty calm, and I find them to be actually very, very peaceful. They're also unconditionally loving. They're very kind. They're very generous. They're very good listeners. They're beautiful, beautiful people. But what happens, though, is the 12th house, which is the house that Pisces and Neptune rule, this particular house is full of mystery. So the 12th house rules the unconscious mind, the subconscious mind, the unseen world, and things that are kept locked away. So secrets, things that you cannot see. So just for kind of knowledge, Pisces is the sign, or the 12th house is the house that rules prisons and hospitals and things like that. Now, when I first heard that, I thought, what do prisons and hospitals have to do with one another? And a lot of people said, well, you're locked away. And I thought that doesn't really make a lot of sense, like, oh, you're confined. That's not actually what it's about. Yes, it's about being locked away, but it's about rehabilitation. So Pisces rules prisons and hospitals, not because of the punishing nature, or, you go to prison because you've done something wrong, but you go to prison because you're supposed to be rehabilitated. And this is really important because during the Piscean sun transit, so that starts around February 18th or 19th, okay? The sun enters Pisces around February 18th or 19th, and it stays there until March 20th or 21st, okay? We all notice, okay, you'll probably notice, or you have probably noticed, that you feel more withdrawn, you're more inward. There's a lot of introspection. It is the end of the astrological year. So what tends to happen is you're tired, you're fatigued, you're worn out. In the Northern Hemisphere, it's winter. We're drained. We've gone through 2 long months of winter and darkness, and we're in shadow, and maybe we're getting fatigued, maybe we're getting antsy, maybe we're getting bored, maybe we're getting stir crazy. All of this is happening under the umbrella of needing to get rehabilitated. Why? Because it's the end of the year. Pisces is also known as the dustbin of the zodiac, meaning everything that you have not accomplished over the last 12 months is now supposed to be happening so that you can move forward into spring, which is the new year, with a fresh start, okay? So in February and March, you're also, yes, you're dealing with winter, you're dealing with darkness, but your system is clearing and dealing with everything that you did not deal with earlier in the year. It is an incredibly powerful time of year. And whether you are on board with it or not, it is happening. So many people get tired and sick and depressed during this time because they don't realize what's going on. There's processing that's happening, and they are not, instead of going with the flow of processing, they are resisting the processing process, okay? So now, so what happens is in February, when the sun is in Pisces, there is a new moon in Pisces. So you can think back to where you were in February and March of this year, and this is going to clue you in to what you're going to be experiencing and what you're going to be cleaning up with the full moon, which is happening 6 months later with the full moon in Pisces while the sun is in Virgo. I hope this is making sense to everyone. It makes perfectly good sense in my head because I get it. This is so fucking powerful. So what do I need you to do? What I really want you to do is to get into the ritual and to do the workbook that comes along with this ritual. You know, it's not about lighting the candles and doing that stuff. You can do those things. I'm much more interested in you going into the workbook and answering those questions and sitting with all of those concepts and ideas that are coming up, because the full moon is very, very strong. It is a time you can see it out in the world. You can see the effects. You can see the effects of the full moon on the tides, but you can also see the effects of the full moon on your animals around your home. You can see them. If you have a dog, I take my dog to the dog park, and every time we go to the dog park during these 3 days of the full moon, there are so many dog fights and so many weird interactions around the dogs during this time. Also, you'll notice that people around you are more sensitive, more hostile, more aggressive, more edgy, more weird. It's not their fault. This is beyond the ego's control. We are in the realm of energy, vibration, and magnetism. This is the moon at work. So your job is to learn what's going on for yourself, extend compassion to the world around you, and do your best to keep yourself safe, okay? While you're being of service to others to the degree that you can, and living your life, taking care of yourself, okay? So let's tuck into the full moon workbook, which I have opened right here. Okay, let's go live. All right, and if you are watching me live, let me see if I have anybody. Oops, sorry, hold on, y'all.
So,
Jackie's here. Hey, Jackie. Jackie, I'm so glad you made it. Did you get the workbook, my darling? I hope so. Let's see, hold on. Okay. Thank you for checking in, Jackie. I appreciate it. Let's see. Okay, share screen. Got it. Here we go. Okay. All right, my friends. So this is our full moon in Pisces workbook. There is a table of contents. There is the Badass Butterfly Manifesto. All right. So we've got this grounding essential oil of clove because it's grounding. Love clove essential oil so much. But it is really a great essential oil to use while we have this full moon in Pisces. It's spicy, it's warming, that will appeal to the sweet nature of Pisces. But again, it's super grounding, bringing you into the earth realm so that you can allow your spirits to reach those higher realms. The moon's going to be pulling you higher, but the clove will help keep you grounded, right? And amethyst is the birthstone for February, if I'm not mistaken. And this is an interesting stone that is both attractive and repellent. So it's very protective. It can repel dark energies from you, but it's also very, very attractive of generative energy. It's a very fertile stone. The color purple really is affiliated with or associated with the higher crown chakra. However, this is kind of like the stone of Kundalini, where Shiva and Shakti come together. So it's super nurturing for your root chakra as well. So it's a great stone, again, for letting you go high, but keeping you grounded as well. All right. So in this booklet, you are going to find the full moon healing ritual. I am not going to take you through the ritual because you can go through that on your own, and you of course can download the MP3 and you can listen to me read this entire ritual and take you through it, okay? So I won't do that here, but you have the link to get the download, and you've got the written text if you prefer to do it that way. Now, there are 2 worksheets in this workbook. You have the astrological worksheet that is for the full moon in Pisces. So it is particular to Pisces. The second worksheet is closer to the back, and this worksheet is for after you have done the full moon ritual and you want to check in and see how you feel and see what you've gotten from the ritual. So the first one you do before the ritual, and this one you do after the ritual, okay? All right, so just to clarify. All right, so here we are. So we have for you here some key words for the sign of Pisces. And you can look through those keywords and see what feels interesting for you energetically, all right? Now, then we have the questions, okay? So your first question, I'm just gonna go through these questions and then I'll let you go tuck into the work. So which of the Pisces keywords would you like to incorporate more of in your life, right? Using these keywords and any other keywords that you know. This is not a comprehensive list at all. These are just some that have come up that I particularly like. So if you find other keywords, feel free to add them in. But which appeal to you? Which do you want to incorporate more of in this particular time of your life? Now, this again is about reflecting on what has been happening for you over the last year. So how has your inner world improved? Pisces is a feminine sign. It's about your inner life, okay? Your subconscious self, your subconscious mind, your feeling nature, your emotions, etc. What are your spiritual strengths? What are your emotional strengths? Where are you energetically a badass? So these questions are getting you again to start looking at yourself from an internal perspective. What is my relationship with the unseen world? In what do I believe? How much do I really believe in spirituality? Now, for those of you who are spiritual life coaches, you've already made the decision. For example, Jackie is already doing this work. She knows this stuff. This is a great opportunity. Like, this question seems like it's a basic question. What do I believe, right? Someone like Jackie may already know what she believes. But for those of you who are thinking about being spiritual life coaches, or you're new on this journey, as many of you are in this particular group are, this is an opportunity for you to start developing your spiritual philosophy. Now, your spiritual philosophy, and look, here in the Badass Butterfly Superpowers Academy, I am always wanting to help you heal, okay? That is our goal. However, remember that I am also here to help you build your business. So for these kinds of questions, the more depth and thought that you give to these ideas, the better. The more you dive into these ideas, the more you will be better able to talk about this stuff when you are actually running your business, okay? So the depth that you put into these questions is going to help you advance your divine coaching business, and it will help you in the certification process, all right? So this is an opportunity to explore your beliefs and your relationship with the unseen world. Who are your spirit guides? What deities are you connected to? This is really important because Pisces rules that 12th house, and that's where these guys live. Some in astrology, very often we say that the 12th house is actually the first house because this is where we believe it begins. It begins in the unseen world, and then it comes into Aries as the first step, okay? The first step is Aries, it's the first house, but where'd that come from? The 12th house, okay? So looking at what's happening with your spirit guides, your spiritual guidance team, and the forces that are surrounding you. All right, so if you could call in some very cool superpowers, what would they be? Again, this is all coming from your connection with the unseen world. Remember that superpowers, it can be things like being able to see, clairvoyance, it can be clairaudience, it can be ESP, it can be the ability to teleport. Okay, those are all very cool superpowers. But also remember that it can be empathy, compassion, unconditional love. These are also superpowers. And these are all aspects of energy that can originate in the 12th house. So take a look at this question and explore it and see what comes up for you, okay? All right, if the superpowers in question 4, I think that should be question 7. There's a little typo there. There's a little typo there, Rebecca. Just whenever you get a chance, sweetheart, if you can change that from, that should be, if the superpowers in question 6 are actually real and available, okay, through consistent spiritual practice, what would those superpowers look like? What would they be? So in other words, if you, let's say that clairvoyance is one of your superpowers, okay? How can you make that wonderful gift something that you can use in your daily life, and more importantly, in your business, okay? How can you bring that beautiful energy of empathy into your life and into your business, okay? If you are great at reading tarot cards, how can you bring that into your life and into your business, all right? How can you use your superpowers in your life and in your business? And question number 8, if I were an alchemist, what would be the elements I use and what would I transform? Now, this is about understanding energy, but also this should be about understanding that energy translates into material objects, okay? So I want you all to look at this as what is the energy that I need to transform in my life? And you can look at that, so look at this as energy that you can transform in your life, but also how does that translate into materiality? So what in your life would you like to manifest? Now, using this kind of idea of alchemy, we're associating it with the 12th house. So we want to look at those hidden parts of ourselves. We want to call those forth and see what needs to be transformed. So let's say that in my life, I'm having trouble manifesting. I'll use a relationship because this is what I used in tarot class. And to be honest with you, that's kind of the only thing that I'm working on right now in my life. Everything else is really stable and wonderful. And, the universe is saying, you got to deal with a relationship. So let's look at that. Let's say that I was having trouble manifesting a relationship. What aspect of me, okay, remember that alchemy is about having something that is base and elevating it or transmuting it into something that is of a higher vibration, okay? So let's say that I want to work on this relationship. What I would do is look inside and I would find all the fears, the doubts, the hardships, the heartbreak, the loss, the grief. Okay, those are baser, lower density energies or emotions. And what I would want to do is sit with those and see what elements I need to truly raise the vibration of those things. So let's say I pulled out loss. Maybe I had a boyfriend that I loved and something took him away from me. Okay. And I feel a sense of loss in my heart. Okay. What I can do is understand that, understand what the nature of the loss is. So for me, when I look into this idea of loss, I feel that there is a sucking down energy. And so for me, this is me just using my intuition and my spiritual guidance. And the idea is to bring in something that uplifts. And what I'm seeing is a crystal quartz and some kind of a ritual around water and crystal quartz, okay? So the elements that I want to use are water, and I want to use this quartz energy to create some kind of a healing protocol or just a process for myself, even if that is just sitting by the river and meditating with my quartz in my hand. I know that that is going to, and meditating on the loss and letting that go near water, that would be an amazing ritual for me to help move beyond the loss, okay? So this is what I'm talking about. This is an example of how to use this alchemy. Keeping in mind, you all are going to become spiritual life coaches. So the reasons that we have these kinds of exercises in this ritual workbook is so that you can get in the habit of creating rituals for yourself, which you will also be able to do with your clients, okay? All right, so that's question number 8. For question number 9, it's where would I like to be standing at this time next year? In what ways would I like to be different than now? So what we want to have you do here is look at your future self and create a system. Sorry, I said that wrong. We want to have you look at your future self, where you want to be, and then all of the blockages or obstacles that are keeping you from manifesting and becoming your future self, we want you to deal with those obstacles now at the full moon, okay? So keep in mind that the lunar cycle is actually 1 year, all right? So with the new moon, you are creating, you're thinking about what you want to manifest and you set your goals. You did that in February when the moon was new in Pisces. You thought about where you wanted to go. Then here we are 6 months later at the full moon, and now you've got to deal with the shadows. So the way you deal with the shadows so that you can access the future that you want to open the doors, you've got to deal with the shadows. So you look at the future that you want and you wonder, you ask yourself, well, what am I missing? What's stopping me from getting there? And boom, those are the shadows that you need to deal with now. Those are the things that are coming up for you to be healed. That's what question number 9 is dealing with, okay? So which of your attitudes, outlooks, personal expectations would benefit from transformation, okay? So what do you need to transform? Now, question number 10 is about looking at whatever negative emotions are coming up for you. It's looking at your coping mechanisms, and it's asking you to, it's questioning how you do things, okay? Because you know how they say that the it's insane. I'm so sorry to get this wrong, but they say that it's insane to do the same thing over and over again and to expect different outcomes, right? Well, what we want to do is move you out of that state of insanity and get you doing different things. So this is about looking at your coping strategies and changing them. What needs to change? Okay, because if you're not moving forward, if you're having blockages, there are things that need to change. Okay. All right, let's get into the next question. And I think these should be, yeah, these are our last two questions. So question number 11, it says, as the astrological year comes to a close. That's a typo we also need to fix, Rebecca. But this should be asking, what is it that needs to be finished before you move into the manifestation process? Okay, so right now, the manifestation process is at the culmination of, it's like you're about to give birth to what you started in February. Okay, you're almost there, but you're not there yet. Okay, so you're almost there, but you're not there yet. You got to get through this shadow. You've got to get through this dark place. If you'll remember in the moon card, when we did the tarot class the other day, there it shows the two pillars of the high priestess, and then there's the wolf and the dog, and there's a path between the two. Okay, so your job is to walk that path, making both the wolf and the dog your servants. The wolf represents your instinctual wild nature. The dog represents your more domesticated, cultured nature. Bringing those together, not out of fear, but out of unity and moving forward with your power. Okay. So what we want is for you to start understanding what is it that you need to do while you have this full moon showing you all your shit. What do you need to do to deal with your shit and then put it away so that you can walk in with power and authority to the next step, the next thing that the universe is birthing for you. Okay, I hope this makes sense. If you all have any feedback, let me know. All right, and this last question is, if I could lay some part of myself to rest, what would it be and why? So what would you do to lay down that aspect of you, or sorry, what is that aspect of you that needs to be laid down, and why are you laying it down? This should be a lot easier to answer after question number 11, where you are looking at kind of like, how are you going to be moving forward? What do you need to get? What needs to get done? Whatever stragglers and hangers on there that are left, it's time to let them go. It's time for you to move into a new aspect of yourself. It's almost as if well, it is, isn't it? So spring and summer spring is the new year. Summer is what follows. So we're in the first half, or we're coming to the end of the first half of this new astrological year. So this is an opportunity for you to really, did I say that right? Yes. This is an opportunity for you to kind of lay claim to what it is you want to manifest, what you want to give birth to in the second half of the year. Okay, I hope all this makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know. I know Jackie already gets this, so I'm not surprised if she doesn't have any questions about this. So just to finish up the workbook and to wrap up our session for today, the full moon meditation and connection process would be your next step. So after you've done the workbook, you can start that today, okay? what's the date of the new moon, of the full moon? Oh, August 30th this year. So August 30th, which is 1 week from today. No, that's, no, that's in 6 days. So Wednesday, yeah, so Wednesday of next week. So by Tuesday or Wednesday, you want to be doing this meditation. You want the workbook done and you want to be doing this meditation process. You'll go through the meditation, or again, you can listen to the audio, and then you can go through these questions here after that to kind of just close out your ritual. All right, friends, so that is that. I hope you find that this live stream and the workbook are helpful. And these things are essential for me to feel grounded and successful and connected, right? I need to have this spiritual stuff. I need to have the ritual to help me be in alignment, but then I also need the practical so that I can just manage my damn life. All right, everyone. I look forward to seeing you for whatever comes next. Check out the calendar, and I hope you're doing well with the rest of the work in our curriculum. I will see you, I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Bye, everyone.